So let's get on to it. Let's start by answering the question, what is HSE and what does HSE stand for actually? Okay, this is the Health Service Executive in Ireland. We got a comment last week about getting a job with the HSE in Ireland. To be honest, I didn't know much about HSE because I work for the county council, not the HSE. I know like HSE is also a government body, same as working for the county council, you are also working for the government in a way. Yeah, I can put it like that. But I didn't know a lot of things about HSE or how they employ and how they do things. I had to go all out talking to people, doing a research and finding out how they employ and how to fill their forms and everything else. And to be honest, I found something interesting. I didn't know. I found something interesting. So sit and listen to the video and you're gonna find this interesting thing about how they employ international on the video. So but yeah, that's a secret. I didn't know about that. I didn't know, guys. I have to keep on saying that I didn't know that for the county councils, as I'm working for, I worked for Dublin City County Council. I'm working for Longford County Council. They do not employ internationally. That's one thing that I know. And even if you live in Ireland, if you don't have stamp for or a citizenship in Ireland, you cannot work with the local county council. Surprisingly, for with the HSC, they can even employ internationally, and even if you are here and you don't have stamp for citizen, you can still work with them. That's amazing. That's nice, and they have nice benefits. Okay, so let's get on to it. Let's start by answering the question, what is HSC and what does HSE stand for actually? Okay, this is the Health Service Executive in Ireland. This is like the Island's health and social service body. They look into healthcare and social services because I have worked in social support before. I know that we used to report to HSE and they used to come to the house to check like a lot of things if we are doing and we're following the standards on a lot of things. Like they are so strict. That's what I know. So now, since we know what HSA is, let's cover how they post their jobs and where to get jobs with them. I got two portals here that I marked down. I know that you can still get it because I think if you go to local jobs and other sites, you can still get them. I'm sure even on Indeed, you can still get like a post for HSC. But if you're really looking to work with HSC and you are like looking to work with them specific, you can just go to HSC career portal. That one would lead you to all their posts where they post their jobs, or you can say HSC career hub. Then you get all the posts that they post there if you really want to work for HSC straight, not just working for an agency that is under HSC or working for, like I said before, that I worked in healthcare before. It was a private company, but they report to HSC, they work with HSC. So a lot of healthy care companies in Ireland, I think somewhere, somehow, they still under HSC, they still report to HSC. Okay, so now I I have a lot of notes, guys. I'll keep reading and explaining everything, but most of the times I'll be reading because, like I said, I had to go all out doing research, talking to people, writing down information so that I can come and do this video for you guys and teach you about it. And hopefully, this is gonna help a lot of people. And I would like to thank the person who commented on the video with county councils, the one that I made, that they would like for me to make a video with HSC. Thank you so much, guys. Keep the comments coming. if you want something, don't be shy, don't be scared. If you are scared of commenting or shy to comment on a YouTube video, you can just take our number and WhatsApp us. Tell us what video do you want us to make. It's easier to make videos and to talk to people in a video than to follow up. I get a lot of clients every day sending messages, asking questions one on one. To do this video, it's easier because it covers a lot of people, it teaches a lot of people at once, than for me to be following private messages one by one, which I try so much to help everyone. And we have our colleagues as well that they work so hard trying to cover messages and trying to talk to people on WhatsApp, explaining everything that people need to know about career support, career guidance, and everything. So please, it's easier to make a video. So if you want to know something, please suggest videos so that we work together making these videos and teaching each other, over sitting down and having to talk to one person over same thing over and over again. Then tomorrow you get another client that is asking the same thing. I try as well to make videos from the questions that I get the most about. Let's say someone is asking to about working in healthcare. Someone is asking to work in this. So please, yes, I won't waste time with that. So thank you so much. Okay, HSC also has the external recruitment agents that they work with. I'm gonna put it underneath here so that if I'm not reading it properly, you guys can just copy it and uh, Google it for yourselves. So this recruitment company, they work with HSC to help. It's like they partnered with HSC to help overseas professionals that are looking to get a job with HSC in Ireland. So they work with them, they support especially nurses to get jobs with HSC in Ireland. So if you are a nurse, or I would still advise care workers as well. If you are a nurse or a qualified care worker, wherever you are, internationally, here in Ireland, in EU, in another EU country, just go and Google them. You might get something from them, and they might sponsor you to come to work in Ireland with your nursing qualification or whatever profession that you are in healthcare sector. Yes. Then now let's come to filling the forms. Okay, I had to print out few forms here to try to cover them with you guys. So now filling the forms, guys, first things first, when there is a job that is out and you want to apply for it, go through the specification properly, okay, and also try to read like everything that they cover, because on the specification, of course, you're gonna get everything that you have to know and what you have to cover and what you have to submit before you fill the application form. So okay, let me start with this one. I printed this one just to go through it today with you. I think this post is still open. Anyone can look for it and apply with them. So I printed this job description so that we can go through it and we get to see and understand what you have to know. Because guys, it's important before you apply for a job to know what they are looking for in that job or in that position. Once you get to know and know the responsibilities that you're gonna have to cover or things that you have to do at work. So it's very important, because I know that sometimes when we are looking for jobs, I'm also guilty of that. We just start going straight to the application form, apply, and because you want a job. But guys, it's very important to go through this job specification or job description, because it helps you. First of all, here they covered everything. So this is a support worker position. Then these are the salaries that covers. This one is like the county councils, the way they put them. So the salaries start on 33,000, then they go up to I think I saw 46,000. Oh my goodness, 46,800 and something. Yeah. So they cover up to there. But it doesn't mean that, I know this is very confusing when you're seeing so much salaries, you're like, what's going on here? This means that these are the salaries that are there for this role. But if you are starting as a new person working for them, government body, or do they call them government body or local authority? Yeah, local authority. If you are working for them for the first time, you're gonna start on the minimum salary. That's where you're gonna start. But if you have been working with them, let's say you have been working, because this is under HSC. This is advertised under HSC, but you're gonna be working for a company. This is the company name. You're gonna be working for this company while least you are under HSC. I don't know if that makes like a lot of sense, because they have companies that are under them. They have organizations that they work with. So when they advertise and they do the post, it's still under them. It's still HSC, but you are working for this organization, right? If you really want to work for HSC, I think this is the same, because the benefits will be the same, everything will be the same as working for HSC. You are actually working for HSC, just that you are working for this organization. While least the form with HSC, where you're gonna be working now for HSC straight, reporting to HSC, everything under HSC. This is the form. It's gonna be having this HSC logo at the corner there. That's the HSC form. But these job specifications, they are similar, they are almost the same. It covers everything that you need to know about the job before you start applying. So when you are working for them for the first time, you start on the lowest that they put here. Then when you have been working with them in another company, or let's say you have been working on this one, now you saw this post again and you want to change to come to this one. That's when now they consider the years that you have been working with them. That's when maybe you can find yourself on this salary, or on this one, or on this one, because you have been working with them for a while. So that's why they have all these. So it depends on the years that you have been working with them. Then now, of course, they're gonna cover like the responsibilities of everything that you're gonna have to cover in this position. And what else is there that they are telling you about? Okay, quality and safety. We know about that. Everyone knows about the healthcare quality and safety and regulations in Ireland. This one you can even Google it yourself if you want to know about it. You just Google that, the Healthcare Act 2007 regulations. Yeah, Healthcare Act 2007 regulations. If you Google all that, you're just gonna know about the procedures and policies in healthcare sector. But yeah, this one, if you are working in healthcare and you have been working there, I think you already know this. But it's important again to go through this, because they put it there, guys, for a reason. You have to just go through everything. This is like a 4-page form that you have to go through before filling your application form, so that you can understand what is required from you, what do they expect from you, what do you have to know for this position. Okay, and this guys also helps you after filling, like after reading this thing, when you are now filling the application form, it becomes easy for you to align yourself and your experience with what is actually required here. Because as you're going through this, you get to understand that, oh, they want this and this and this, and as a person, I already have this and this, I have covered this and this in my life before. So it's easy to align and to fill that form now, knowing that you are actually the best candidate for the position. Going on, this is education and training. The Yeah, that one, of course, certificates and everything that you have to have. Communication and teamwork. Okay, this part as well, if you can go through these guys, and please read it carefully and understand it. They won't be always the same, because this is for a different post. So if you are applying for another post, it won't be always the same as this, but they will always try to give you everything that you need for this post and for this job. And after going through it, you get to understand what they are looking for. What do they want? Are you the best candidate before you even start applying? If you are not, you can understand what do you need to learn, what experience do you need to gain, what knowledge do you need to learn. So this helps a lot, guys. So that's like the job description and the job specification. So now I'm gonna go through what the forms. Let's talk about filling the forms. I love the HSE form. It looks long when you're looking at it from here, but it's not that long. It's not that long. It's very simple and straightforward. For me, I don't know if it's like that for everyone, but guys, this is like simple and easy form. That's one thing that you have to understand, because I'm working for county councils. Our forms are very long. When you have to start changing like a job or start applying for a new position, you have to stress about filling that form, and the interviews are so long, and they're so hard. They are challenging. Yes, they are challenging. Okay, so let's talk about filling the forms. I have the form here. First page, they just want your personal details. That's your name and your addresses and everything that you have done before. Then there's this part that you have to mark whether you are a EU citizen or non-EU. This shows that of they employ everywhere, internationally, in Ireland, around EU. What? So once they give you this part to choose where do you fall, where are you, you know that okay, they put this for a reason. It means they consider international applicants. So that's the whole reason they would put, like, if you are a non-EU citizen, it's easy to fill that part, and they know already when they are opening your form that maybe you are not here in Ireland, you might need to be sponsored visas and stuff. But guys, this is very nice. Like, it's something that, this is what I'm saying, that I didn't know about HSE until I started doing my research and I talked to people that are working there. This is very nice to know. I didn't know about it, and I'm still surprised even now. Then this is page number 4. It's talking about the okay, this is about you again. If you have worked in the HSE space before, this is where now they decide about your salary, to know that you have worked for them or the body that works with them before, so that they can know where to place you. Okay, and let's keep going. This is the qualification part. They just want to know about your qualification. They listed a lot of universities that are here in Ireland, but I'm sure even if you didn't study here in Ireland, there is a part where you can put about your university, whether you studied in Ireland or not. So yeah, it's a long list that just covers universities. So you just choose the one that you studied from. This is about educational achievements, or these are the achievements that you have achieved in education. So we're still on personal things. Career overview. This is now about your employment history, where you have worked before. And I would always advise everyone, when it comes to career overview or what, you have to try to cover everything, like everywhere where you have worked before, and don't leave a gap in between, because guys, a gap is very questionable. So if you have worked for one company, then you had to sit at home for whatever reason, that you had to sit at home, you had to sit at home not working for about 2 years. Then from there you went back to working and started working for another different company. Don't just write that one, then skip the 2 years gap, then go to the what. So I normally myself, and I have heard other people that do it as well. If that career gap, if you're gonna put company number 1 here, company number 2 here, company number 3, just put company number 1 and try to put that career gap here. You can just say from this time to this time, and instead of writing the company name and employers and stuff, you can just specify that you were not working. Maybe you were back to full-time education, or you were doing something. Just try to put it here, so that there is no gap in your career history, so that they get to know you, because that gap is very questionable, and some companies, they come back to you asking, why is there a gap, what were you doing in that gap, try to explain to us. what you are doing in that gap. But then that means they have time to follow up and ask you all that. Some companies, when they have a lot of applications and they are too busy, you might even get declined and be wondering, why was I declined? What did I do wrong? Why at least you just didn't do a little simple thing, as in leaving too much gaps. So I always advise people to say, rather, even this form you can, I printed it now. This is why the boxes are so tiny. But when you fill it online, you can write like, fill this place up, and it's gonna be going up to somewhere here or whatever. Just try to cover everything about your career history, so that they don't have to ask themselves and answer themselves alone without you telling them what you have been doing. So try to cover everything when it comes to that. And we keep going. This is the experience role. And I was surprised, for this form, they just put one part. Like I said, with the, I always refer to the county council form, because for us, with the county councils, you get 3 or 4 of these, where you have to write about 500 words telling them about an example where you can make yourself like the best candidate for this role or for this position. It's like trying to sell yourself, or trying to tell them about you, what you like, how do you think, and what do you change, and what do you bring to the table. Yeah, this is about what you bring to the table. So in this part, oh my god, HSE is so nice, guys. You have to go through this so that you can understand how to fill this question properly. But I'm also going to assist you right now on what to fill and how to fill it. Okay, so this part, I always tell everyone to say, relax and think about one example. This one example is when you were working for a company, or if you were not working, let's say you are a new person from university and now you are coming to work. So now you have to think of an example where you actually contributed to someone, or to other people, or to the working team, or whatever at work, where you feel like you contributed something, or you changed a day for someone. Otherwise, if you were not there for that time or for that day, things were not going to work out, or things were not going to be as good as you made them to be good. So this, here on this form, they don't specify the number of words that they want. They just saying, fill, write in this space, and do not like override to pass the page. Just make sure that everything is like in this format, and it covers in this page. So I would say this is like half a page, telling a story, or telling something, an example of something that happened at work and you contributed. So now, to make it easy, I'm going to make an example with myself for where I have worked before. Okay, there was a time when I was working in a road construction, like road work. So sometimes when you are working there, they cover the road, they close the road. And you might get someone who is in a rush, or who is going somewhere, because they never, maybe they have a meeting and they never knew that the road is closed. Now you have to try to explain to them that, okay, we closed the road because we are working on this part. That person might not understand, and that person might not. So now I'm making an example of me working there, to talk to people, or to stop people from driving past that place because we just closed it down. We have to work. Let's pretend this is like in something that just happened now, and people are so angry, like, why did you close the road, what's happening, what is going on? And I start talking to people, or to one person, to explain to them that, okay, we're so sorry, we had to close the road because of this and this and this. A circumstance just happened, and we had to close it. So this is when now I try to convince the person. As I'm working for the county council, I represent the county council by that time, as I'm talking to this person. That person might go around saying good things about the county council because they have talked to me and I was bad to them, or I was good to them. So whatever that I'm going to say right now, I'm representing the business, I'm representing the company. So now I just start talking to the person and explain nicely to them that okay, the road is closed because of this reason. So we try to get a route that still leads you, but it's going to be a bit longer, but it's not that long because we still consider the time that you have to get to where you're going. So after explaining to this person that is trying to cross the road or trying to use that road at that specific time, and they are worried about being late, they are worried about getting lost. Some people, they may be knowing that road, and once now you are taking them off road to another road that they don't even know, they might worry about getting lost and everything. So now it's a matter of convincing that person that okay, you won't get lost because we have put signs for everyone until to where the detour ends. Or my English and pronunciation, guys, you're gonna have to forgive me, but yes, to where the detour ends and whatever that where they are going. So now it makes things easy for them, even for them that they are worried. It may calm them down, and they end up feeling like, oh, this person is very nice and this person is very helpful, and they actually explain things clear to me. So now when I'm applying for a job, I can use that example in this page where they are saying, tell us about what happened, on the example where you made something. So now I can talk about that example, that I once faced a client who was worried about this and this and this, and I managed to talk to them, I managed to help them, and I actually changed their day, or I actually felt like they understand after I talked to them. So as long as you were in a tough situation where you dealt with a client, this is an example of dealing with a client. I know a lot of times in whatever work environment you are working with, you're still gonna face clients, to work with clients, to deal with clients. So yeah, this is the example that I make. And once you think of your life, I know whether you are working in a petrol station, you are working in healthcare, you are working in construction, you always gonna meet a part or a challenge where you actually cover and say, okay, today I managed to talk to this person and it was a success and we did very well. So now this is the part to showcase what you did and how you helped someone, or how you helped the company or the business that you work for, and how it ended up being a success. You just try to cover the story in the space provided, or in the number of words given, if there is number of words. Okay, I think this is the most important part about the form, because guys, again, you have to keep in mind that these people, they have never seen you before, they don't know you. Everything that you put on your form, this is what is going to get you shortlisted. So sit down, read everything carefully, understand what they want from you, and put everything in your application form. Most the HSC doesn't take the CVs, they don't accept CVs, so you have to fill the forms to the, like, the way they want it, so that you can be shortlisted. That's the list that you can do. Then the last part, now we're covering the references. This is they have two references that they put here, and you just fill this form about the references and you give them what they want. This one, guys, it also advises you on a CV. Let's say you are now applying for a job that wants a CV. This is like a guideline that you can use. References, try to put 2 or 3 references in a CV. I have found clients that bring CVs with over 6 references. It's not necessary, guys. It makes your CV too long. It makes your CV too long, and like HR people, they don't have time to be going through a lot of things. So it's easier to make your things, to write your CV to be straightforward and clear. If you are filling a form, like HSC doesn't accept a CV, they want you to fill a form. Fill the form the way they told you to fill it. You just give them the details that they exactly want. Don't try to give them extra information that is not required, because you are just confusing them and putting things. You might be thinking that you making yourself stand out, or you giving them extra information, while at least you are actually confusing them and giving them unnecessary information. So try to fill the forms the way they told you to fill the forms, the way I just explained to you right now, and give them the references, at least 2 references that they need. Don't try to add extra references. Okay, what you can add extra is like on the job history part. That one, you have to give them everything. That's where you can go a bit extra by explaining all the gaps that you have, so that they get to know you. Because I repeat again that you um shortlisted with what you provide on the forms. If you have qualifications from outside Ireland, it's your job to go all out and print them that certificate comparison. Yeah, that shows that your qualification is similar to the Irish qualification. I will attach the link below if you want to compare your qualification. And there's another video that I made about how you can go on the link to actually log in and put your country and put your qualification to see if it's recognized here in Ireland and how is it recognized. And you can always email them. They always answer emails, guys. You can always email them, ask them about your qualification, if it's recognized or not, and ask them to help you with a form or a certificate that shows that your qualification is recognized, so that you can apply wherever you are international and get a job in Ireland. Then I have also included few more things that they need, because this is a healthcare position. You're gonna include all your documents. I covered that, and you might need to do cara vetting and police clearance from your own country before you get uh, to work in Ireland. If they ever find something that they are not happy with in your cara vetting or in your police clearance, they will just disqualify you, or you just lose the everything, the job application. You are just out. They will just disqualify you guys. So for I made few notes here for international. I said it, guys, that I have something nice for you. International, I have like made a few notes here about the international people, candidates that are trying to apply wherever they are. So what they try to do, guys, if you are a EU citizen, or let's say you are in UK trying to get a job in Ireland, they can offer you 4,160 euros. This money is for you to cover your travel cost. Like, let's say you're trying to come here, the airline fees and everything, the buying your tickets. This is for you to relocate to Ireland, and this is for you to have an accommodation when you are moving to Ireland before you get your first salary. And it also helps with the visas, because visas can be expensive, to cover all the visa problems and the registrations. We know that nurses and doctors and whatever, they are registered with the body somewhere somehow. So you're gonna use this money to get registered with the Irish bodies and the everything in health and care sector. Then when you are non and you are like, let's say, I'll make example with South Africa. I think people are tired of that. Let's say you are from South Africa and you want to apply for a job with HSE. If you apply and they are happy with you, and now they want you to continue with the visas and relocating and what, they give you this is like a package, guys. They give you 4,710 euros for you to cover again your flights, tickets, your accommodation, your visas, and your initial registration. Everything will be covered. I'm sure they put that money down because they know that it's about that much that you need for your relocation, your accommodation, and your flight tickets and everything. So these are the good news that I had for you guys, that HSC does employ internationally, and they have packages to support you when you are relocating. Guys, this is something that I never knew, and this is something that could change a lot of people's lives. So if you never thought about it, if you never thought about working for HSC before, or if you didn't know what HSC is, now you know. Go to their website, check them out, and apply for that job, guys. If you get it, you stand a chance of getting this money, 4,710. I wish I can get it, guys. Anyways, that's all that I had for you today. If you guys need anything else, a different video, or you need more information about what we talked about today, don't hesitate sending us a message on WhatsApp. And also, we have a healthcare course that we are doing. We partnered with a school that offers the healthcare course, so we are now working with them to provide an international QQI level 5 healthcare course in Ireland. So it's in Ireland, but you can do it online wherever you are internationally in your country. This guys helps you a lot, that if you want to apply for this HSG job that we're talking about right now, as long as you did the course with us and you start doing the application, you may find yourself getting that 4,710 to come live and work in Ireland. Guys, if you want to change your life, you can still do it. It's never too late. Thank you guys for everyone that is following us, and for everyone that is watching our videos, and for everyone who's suggesting on what we should talk about. We always go all out, do the research for you guys to help you, because we believe in helping each other. Thank you so much. Ciao.